Hello, my name is Dice Kimura, and today we're doing some advanced chord substitutions for blues, and I demonstrated some of them just now, and I'm going to show you a couple more and explain them hopefully as we go along. So we're in the key of E. I'm using a tempo at about 100 BPMs, and I'm going to include the drum beat in the link below. Also, go to the top link in the description. You're going to print out this chart, the advanced blues substitutions, and that's really going to help you follow along. Okay, so what we're covering today is moving bass lines, walking bass lines, chromatic bass lines, whatever you want to call it, just like moving into a change. You know, we're looking at new types of turnarounds. Doing turnarounds, if you could find the root, I could show you anywhere to build a turnaround. We'll get into that. Ninth chords, and also some single notes, solo notes, or notes of pentatonic and how that all ties together. So the first thing we have to do, this is an advanced lesson, so if you haven't memorized the 12-bar blues, then go back and do that. There's a link below in the description that takes you to a playlist of the blues lessons, and so if this is a little too complicated for you, either go back to those past ones or reach out to me, get a lesson on Skype, or if you join my Patreon, I can help you there too. So anyway, advanced blues substitutions in the key of E. What we have is, you've got your, you could put a stab like, and I did some arpeggios just now. I did a, so notice my use of the and or the backbeat. Like, that's an octave climb. I stole that from James Jameson, the bass player of Aretha Franklin. But I love R&B, and as a kid, I spent a lot of time jamming to R&B records. As a teenager, I would play the guitar, but I'd play all the bass lines on the guitar for like the greatest hits of Aretha Franklin. I remember doing that like every day. So a lot of my personal influences of the way I build moving bass lines, even on guitar, it's really from R&B, namely from this one guy, James Jameson, who was the lead session player in Detroit and did almost all of that Motown sound, like, you know, Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, all that stuff. Anyway, so you got this walking bass line, and all the rule is there is we go to the key change, so we go to the chord change when it goes from E into A, okay, in anticipation of the A, I'm building up the anticipation. And you can do anything, like I just did a hammer in the key of A when you're in the key of A. Or you could do in the key of B, you can do whatever you want. In the key of B. I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about. So you got E, A7, A7. See the arpeggio? You see me using everything. I'm using everything that I'm showing you all in one shot. You have to know your scales. You have to spend a lot of time playing with the blues. I want to encourage you to just spend time. You print out the chart, you stare at the chart, and try to do things that are at your level, but you should also practice a little bit below your level. And this is very important for advanced students. You want to practice at your level, you want to challenge yourself to go above your level, but you want to practice below your level. And what do I mean and why? Well, let me show you. If you're playing some basic blues, you start to have ideas. Like, you start to think of things. You see how there are things when you start playing below your... Hey there, sorry to interrupt. If you want to learn how to play lead guitar, I have something for you at the end of this video. Your level, and you're not overwhelmed and you're not freaking out trying to just panic to get to the next thing that you're supposed to do. When you're just chilling, you start to think things in your head. I want to encourage you, advanced players, start to make room to dream in your playing, and then start chasing what those notes that you're starting to hear in your mind, start chasing them down on your guitar. You know, find them in your scales and see where they're at. You know what I'm saying? So you can have like your basic, like you got your walking bass line in the key of E. You've got, these are pentatonic runs, which you can add in. Watch. You can pretty much do whatever you want as long as you stay in the rhythm. Start playing with the rhythm. I want to encourage you to always practice with that drum beat. Matter of fact, let me bring it back. And, you know, always play with the drum beat to try to understand rhythmically where your ideas are landing. It's also, if you also play with the drum beat all the time, it's going to help you have inspiration for new ideas, okay? By the way, let me talk about this turnaround. You can do a turnaround from anywhere, and it's great to incorporate it in solos. Like, for instance, you could be soloing and then go right into a turnaround, okay? First, let me show you how to do a turnaround from anywhere if you know what the root note is. So if you're in E, and I have an E root like I'm here, there's an E, and I can just go down to from the 8 or the root to the 7, and then the 6, and the flat 6, and the 5, and then you could end with a B7, or even a slide into it from the sharp 5th. See what? So it's like, that's a turnaround, you know, which you can do anywhere. So if there's an E, or an octave, here, so that can really change the dynamic of how you do your turnarounds. I want to encourage you to tag those turnarounds. If you're soloing, if you just nail the turnaround, it makes your solo so much more storytelling kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's just jam a little bit and use some of these themes. If you have questions, just comment below. Book a Skype lesson. Hit me up on Patreon, and I can help you. Okay? So. And also on Patreon, there's a lot more resources to help you learn to play lead. Okay, here we go. I'm doing so much play with the rhythm, with the notes, with the scales. I don't know if you can tell, but I've done this a lot in my lifetime. And I used it to teach me music theory. Of that play between the 1 and the 4, of the 4 and the 5, and the 1 and the 5. The play between the chords and building up to the chords, or jumping into the keys of certain chords. I can already tell I'm going to have to do some more sequel lessons because there's more than I can explain just in this one video. But I'm going to end this video here. You can watch it over and over slowly or ask me questions. I hope it helps you learn to play the blues. It's one of my favorite things in life to play and to do. So to share this with you is my goal. Okay, I do a video every day, so come back tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks. Hey guitar player, if you want to learn how to play lead guitar and you're a beginner, I have something for you. This is a very detailed beginner course for lead guitar playing. Step by step, it's going to show you how to improvise. It's going to show you all of your pentatonic scales in the key of E minor, which is 8 positions over the span of 22 frets. You're also going to get 40 of my phrases that I'm going to teach you, and these are cool phrases. I'm also going to include the tabs of all of the phrases that I'm playing and all the positions that I'm playing. And you're going to have video of very in-depth, step-by-step explanations of how to start improvising. And more importantly, it's going to teach you how to think like a guitarist. I'm going to teach you how guitarists interact with live music and how we think. And so it's going to be very beneficial. If you get through this course, this will take you from beginner, absolute beginner, all the way to intermediate. You'll be an intermediate lead player by the end of this course. So it's very in-depth. I know that's a bold promise, but it's true, okay? You can check it out for free, do the free trial, and then go from there. Please ask me any questions that you have. I want to see you play lead guitar. You can do this. You can absolutely do this. Step by step, one day at a time. We're going to do this together. We're going to do this at your pace. So check it out. The information's in the link below.